What's going on? You're listening to the 3 Count Podcast. Make sure you follow them on all their social medias at 3 Count Podcast with the number 3, not the word spelled out. Check out all their interviews and other content. Interviews such as with myself and my partner Jeremy Grimes, Studio 22, and some other lesser ones. Not all their guests are winners, but you watch ours. It was fun. Um, Shout out to my guy Red Dog Cliff.
Knew that she raised one. All of your hate won't change none.
Another great edition of the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring. I'm your host, as typical for these interview shows, Clifford Red Dog Miller, and we will go down our single roster, which there's only one other person on. But you know this man because he is the host of the 3 Count Podcast weekly debate show. He also, jumps in. He does the review shows for, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Impact, whenever he decides to show up. So give it up for the man himself, Chaz, the Don, the Icon, Evans.
What's up? It's your boy, it's your nephew, it's your cousin, it's the Don, Chaz Evans, and I am here on Now Into the Ring because I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. So there it is, I'm here on Now Entering the Ring.
So there he is, and as always, this is the 3 Count Presents Now Entering the Ring, which means one thing, we have a special guest. And this person, I have met this man personally. We have shared the ring together in training. We have seen him do all of his crazy shows. And if you were paying attention to my YouTube channel, you would have seen him in the background of numerous shots correcting me because I'm always fucking up his name. Give it up for the man himself, Van Hanson.
You know what I mean?
I love it, man. The Killing Fields Thug has entered.
You know what I mean?
Ring. Down with this. How you been, man?
I've been all right, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
I ain't dead yet. Wait, what? You ain't dead yet? I ain't dead yet, so hey, I guess I'm good. All right.
So, man, thank you for coming on the show and wanting to talk to us.
Absolutely, man. And of course, you know what I mean? As soon as I heard you were doing a 3 Count podcast, back when you told me, man, I've always wanted to come on and talk with y'all.
Bet. Well, now you get your own episode. You don't have to come on our debate show.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. Nah.
But yeah, so let's get this kicked off, man, because I have a real important question I like to ask everybody right off the jump. Who is Van Hanson?
I can sum that up in 3 words. 4 words. The Killing Fields Thug.
Bet, man. So my first question is really going to be coming in is kind of how did you come up with the Killing Fields Thug?
I didn't. So I was the manager of a tag team known as Crucial Impact at the time. And we were doing a show for Superstar Wrestling, and I was just their manager. And I had a match with the ring announcer of the show. We were doing manager versus ring announcer. And, I was getting ready I drew a 6-pack on myself. I was getting ready to write Thug Life. And Richie Nightmare, I don't know if anyone's heard that name, comes up to me with a Sharpie, and he's like, no. Where are you from? I said, Killing Fields. So he wrote #Killing Fields Thug on my chest, and the name just stuck because I was originally Handsome Brent Hanson, and then I was the Killing Fields Handsome Brent Van Hanson.
Love it, man. I love it. Yeah, because we've talked about numerous times, just on side chats and everything, or just even up at Sickens compound where we train at.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun seeing you and getting to hear your stories and stuff, man. You
Mm-hmm.
you always walk around that kendo stick, man. I legitimately for myself.
But I've never used it on a show. I've never used it on a show. It's my way of protecting myself. It's usually under my bed, but right now it's in my car because I just did a show where I walked around with it before the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, man, what keeps you driving in the business? What motivates you? What's been inspiring you? Give us like about you.
What keeps me going is honestly what I can do next, because for a while, like, you know, mid 2019, I didn't really have anything going on yet. And then, I got my storyline in for Eastern Panhandle Pro Wrestling for the rest of the year. And then the start of 2020 was looking really good for what we had lined out. And I wasn't with Superstar Wrestling anymore. And then Corona hit, of course. And I was like, well, that's it. 2020 sucks. But then, I met up with the promoter for Superstar Wrestling, and he gave me this awesome opportunity to work with the SoundCloud sensation, Anton Nathan, whose catchphrase is, yeah. and I had, I mean? And, together as a tag partner, what's keeping me going right now is what can we do next? Because so far what we have written down is just, it's driving me more than anything has in the business currently. But I honestly, this is I do this for fun. Like a lot of people ask me, where do you want to go next? What do you want to do next? I don't know. I'm in the business to have fun, and that's currently what keeps me driving. If I'm not having fun, I'm going to step away. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, it's great that you kind of recognize that, like, hey, man, like, time's limited, like,
Yeah.
in between the ring, and you just got to have fun while you're here,
Yeah, and I was told by somebody that if you're not having fun and if you don't like what you're doing, just step away.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
If it's not fun, I'm not. If it's not fun, I won't continue. But I'm always having a blast in wrestling. So.
So my other big question for you, man, is like, what kind of advice would you give to up and coming wrestlers?
Oh, that's tough. Well, listen and watch everything around you. Anything anyone says to you, just eat that up. Don't fire back at them. Just eat it up. If they say you suck and you can't work, prove them wrong. Don't even say anything. You know what I mean? Like, the more times you open your mouth, or the more times you'll get in trouble in the business. That's the biggest thing, really. And of course, wipe your damn feet before you get in the ring.
I yell at so many people, like, because I know that to be a rule, and it's something that, like, I try to do for myself, like, every time, even when I step out for, like, a quick break and I jump back in, like, I always try to wipe my feet off. But I see so many wrestlers, like, I see so many kids that, like, are, because, like, at Sicken's place, right? There's so many new kids that are coming in the system, like, all the time. And I legitimately just, like, started yelling at people. I'm like, yo, get out of my ring. Please wipe your feet. Then come back in. I was like, this is not how this works. And then once people, like, started, like, catching on, like, yo, all of a sudden, like, everybody else was like, hey, man, like, no, wipe your feet off. Like, this is why we do it. Like, we don't want to step in your mud, or we don't want to step in, like, wherever you've been. Like, it's crazy. And, like, now it's starting to catch on. It's starting to be a thing. And it's like, oh. Like,
there's one. Okay, so yeah, of course, the dirt and the mud and everything that, and like anything that came from the locker room to the ring, whatever gross shit is on the floor, you don't want in the ring. But and of course with training, you don't want like mud and sticks and shit in the ring. But my main thing with that is, like, this is our house. You know what I mean? Like, the ring is our house. And if you're first stepping into the ring, or would you step through mud and then just walk into somebody else's house?
Not unless my name was Rick James.
I don't. I don't get that reference, but
so Rick James. So I'll fill you in. So Dave Chappelle. You remember when the Chappelle Show was around?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle did a skit where he was being Rick James, and he walked into Charlie Murphy's house with some muddy boots and put it all over his white couch.
Oh,
fuck your couch! Fuck your couch!
Man.
But no, to your point, no, you'd never walk into somebody's house with muddy shoes, like.
Yeah, and honestly, like, the wiping the feet thing is important, but the most important thing, I think, to just any advice is, like, just listen and learn. because you know you get a lot of guys coming in who are cocky and they're like, oh, I know how to write a storyline, I know how to do this, like, but you don't. Even if you did, you don't.
You're right. You're right. I mean, that's 100% facts. Like there's always room to grow, and I think that's one thing I hear it all the time. Like, if you think you've learned everything in a business, get out.
Yeah, because if you know everything.
Why are you there?
Yeah, and another thing, like, don't try your best not to shoot your mouth. Like, you don't want blood in the water, of course, and especially like if because I've had this happen to me, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to bury anybody. But I had someone saying to me that their company was better than the one I was working for, and that he could out wrestle everyone in the company I was working for. That makes his trainer look bad, and that makes his company look bad. Anything that you do that would make your trainer and their company look like shit, no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've always felt like even if not even just wrestling business in itself, but anywhere you go, like go out, it's your representation of where you come from.
Mhm.
And me personally, I've always, I have too much respect for Chicken and Rhymes to, because I got a big ass mouth, and it's no, I mean, if you listen to this podcast, I have a big ass mouth. I don't think that's it's a problem, but I always known that I'm not going to be the one to shoot myself in the foot and make them look bad because they gave me the opportunity to be here in the first place. So it's I also agree like it's you're not going to you wouldn't disrespect your trainers like that.
Yeah.
So I have too much respect for them to even try to put that put myself in that predicament.
And not only that, like suppose like and I love Sicken and I'm not trying to bury him in any way. Like if you were to say, oh, Nick's an asshole, then everyone else would be like, oh yeah, he did this to me, this, and then it would shoot back straight to him, and that would hurt what he's trying to do. And I know he wouldn't like that very much at all.
No.
Who would?
Right. I feel like that would just be like a thing, man. Like it would bug the shit out of me if that happened.
Mhm.
I have a question for you though, man. Like, let's just because I know you've talked about like the ideas of you and you just kind of go with the flow and stuff. So let's pretend like we're in a time machine.
Okay.
5 years to the future. Where do you see yourself?
5 years in the future. Oh my God. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would like to say like winning my first title at least some point between in the next 5 years, but at the same time I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Like, I know for one thing, you won't see me in the major leagues in 5 years. So, I like being a local guy because, I don't know, I get to go do a show on a Saturday, come home, and then go to training on Sunday, go to work on Monday, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. I obviously, I want to do this for as long as I can, but I could still see myself working in 5 years. Maybe not as, agile as I am now, and that's saying a lot because I've gained 40 pounds since being in the wrestling business. So I imagine myself being one of those big, heavy set guys wearing trash bag pants.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
no, I like that, man. I'm gonna give it to Chaz, man, and let him
Okay.
ask you some questions.
Okay.
All right, brother man. So my first question, and I normally ask a lot of people this, but what got you into wrestling?
Into wrestling or just the
A lot
business?
of people answer, don't answer a lot. Is what got them into wrestling?
What got me just not into the business, but just into the love of wrestling?
Wrestling, period. Like, what's the story on like what was the first time that interest like wrestling was introduced to you?
Okay, you're gonna get the stupidest story ever. So growing up, wrestling was always on in the background. Like my stepdad at the time, my mom has been married twice. My stepdad at the time, he really liked wrestling, so it was always on in the background. But like he liked the classic stuff on VHS.
Ooh.
So like Hogan, and Tito Santana. So like I grew up with that in the background, and occasionally he would put on like it was like Ruthless Aggression era because I was born in '99. So, and I don't know, I didn't pay too much attention to it, but like I liked it. But then like I moved like a few years later. Someone told me wrestling was fake, so I stopped watching it. For like,
Wrestling's fake.
even though it's not, what I mean? Like, and I'm not even saying that in gimmick. Like, god damn, like people got the wrong idea. So I moved. I was completely out of it. Like at that point, god damn it, this story's dumb. I was in Walmart one day, and they had the Super Mario Brothers Super Show for sale on DVD for every single episode, and I got it, and like I fell in love with Captain Lou Albano, and then I was I think pushing 6th grade because I met a friend and his name was literally Lou, like Lou Trail, his full name. No, not his. That's his full first name. I mean, and he's talking about Wade Barrett, and I'm talking about Captain Lou Albano, and he's like, watch wrestling tonight, and I can't even. The Miz was WWE champion at the time, so like that's what got me back into the modern stuff because I'd stopped. Like, I think Batista and Evolution were just getting big when I stopped watching it the first time, and when I came back to it, Shawn Michaels had just retired.
Oh wow.
So, and like, yeah. So,
Oh wow, you missed a big chunk of wrestling.
yeah, I did, but pretty much what made me fall back in love with it, like in period, in the first place, was Captain Lou Albano.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So my next question is, who's your favorite wrestler?
Me? No, I'm kidding.
That's a legitimate answer. Like
no, I'm kidding. Okay, so yeah, for that, I'm not going to say Captain Lou Albano because his wrestling work back in the day wasn't very good. But he's my favorite personality of all time. So that's a hard pick between like Edge or Bret Hart.
Like go Canada. Go Canada.
Yeah, pretty much so like everybody in my top 10, there's like 5 Canadians.
I mean, I don't fault that though because like it seems like Canada does have like a lot of great wrestlers that show up.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Greatest export is wrestling. Not
yeah. Man, like I got like in my top 20, I have like Owen Hart, Chris Jericho, Edge, Christian, and Bret Hart, like, and pretty much all the Harts. I don't remember. Was Brian Pillman Canadian?
No, wasn't he part of the Hollywood Blondes? He was American.
Yeah. And of course
I think he was U.S.
Okay. And of course another unnamed Canadian.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he's kind of looming around in spirit.
Well, like you having his thoughts or like
Yeah. Yeah,
or do you mean like the pressure? I honestly I don't know what to take from that.
I wanted to use words from the thesaurus, so I was looking up the words. I looked up the word hanging and looming.
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, okay. Man.
Getting deep here. Getting deep on the show.
Exactly. Really dark. So we're gonna move on back, to you as far as a wrestler. What do you feel like is your greatest accomplishment so far?
Oh, greatest accomplishment so far. One sec.
That's like
I have a journal for everything I've ever done.
That's lit though.
Minus the backyard shit. That's not in there. I can answer that off the top of my head without even looking. I don't know why I looked. Greatest accomplishment so far. It was a double cage main event. It was Superstar Wrestling presents A Fight to End Muscular Dystrophy 2. And there were like 200 to 300 people in the audience. And every dollar that we got at the door, we donated to muscular dystrophy, because that whole event was created for a fan that had muscular dystrophy and passed away. And he had a match dedicated in his name. And we got to go semi-main. It was Crucial Impact with Kano and Hanson versus Heartburn with Diamond Dex Cross. And of course, Dex and I weren't supposed to be out there during the cage match. We were supposed to brawl to the back, but we were just like, it's for a good cause. So we stayed, and we kind of, the match wasn't officially like a 3-on-3, but it became one. And it was at Harley Davidson in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. So that was really cool. And the reason I say that is because like just the amount of people that were there that supported, you know, having and giving money to put towards the fight to end muscular dystrophy, getting to do it in a cage and getting it to do with guys that we had a storyline for so long with. It was just perfect. And of course, the main event was Ron Holiday versus Riley Crow.
Ron Holiday.
Hey, if you're going to have Ron Holiday on the podcast, you can't talk shit on him, buddy.
I feel, you know what, man? Like,
My impression.
bruh,
What?
like, as many wrestlers as we had on this podcast, the name Ron Holiday seems to be like the most named wrestler on these podcasts.
Ron Holiday's a treasure. Like he's such a great dude, and like I don't know, like Ron Holiday is someone that will be in the memories of people for generations.
Yeah.
Holiday.
If you know Ron, you definitely will always remember him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
When I met Ron, he looked like Brendan Fraser. He didn't have a beard, and he had like straightened hair.
Oh,
I feel like the one thing too is like everybody has like their impression of Ron Holiday. Like after you meet him, like
Yeah.
you quote all of his stuff. I'm just like, man.
My favorite thing he says is,
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
yep.
My,
Yep.
I like that, and I like oh Billy.
That's my favorite.
I would tell the Ron story, but I don't want to bury him.
Can you really bury Ron Holiday though?
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm pretty sure you could. No, I'm just kidding, Ron.
Speaking of burying, and
Uh-oh.
what's one thing that you think is missing from the industry?
Oh,
Storytelling.
I can take that.
And realism, because I'm gonna get heat for saying this. I can't stand watching like the Young Bucks matches anymore.
Neither can I. Welcome to the. Okay, cool.
All right.
Don't do it for me. I mean, it's never. They've never done anything for me. Like I've never liked them from the jump. So you know.
Their Ring of Honor stuff was all right. I mean, it's very athletic. It's something to be like, you know, bashing, but like the realism, kicking out a one from a super kick or a V trigger, or you know, like, and it seems like they just tear everything they have in the first 5 minutes of the match, and then they don't have a go home spot. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, so like psychology is missing from wrestling, honestly.
I like that. It's a great answer.
I can take that.
I'm gonna get heat for that, though. I know that.
No, because you know what, man? Like, to be real, like,
I mean, it needs to be said.
yeah, I feel like, and we've done a lot of different interviews, but to be honest, that's like one of the top answers that we get when we ask that question.
Psychology?
So, yeah, psychology and storytelling, and character development. Like that's another one that we don't get a lot.
Mm-hmm. I gotta fix this.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Sorry, I'm fucking around here.
It's okay. Fans will see this and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know how that goes. I have to fix my stuff too."
Know what I mean?
All the tattoos are coming off.
Oh,
You know what? You would have fooled me if you had not done that.
really?
You would have fooled me. So I got a couple more questions. These are some lighthearted questions, and then after these questions, we can go right into the infamous 10 count questions.
All right, sounds good.
So these are some fun questions.
Okay.
Here we go. What's the hardest you've ever been hit?
Oh shit. Probably. Oh, there's two, but it came from the same person in two different nights, though. He and the first time he didn't mean it. The second time it felt like he did. I'm not gonna say who it was, but he came up and I was outside the ring and he hit me with this part of his arm, like right where the bone was, right across the top of my head, and he drove that son of a bitch. Anyway, you mean in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. The second time was a kick to the back, but it was all toes. Actually, no. There's something more. I took like 30 chops in a battle royal one night with a shirt over my head, and someone restraining me.
Oh wow.
Nope, not doing that.
Yeah, same. Next question.
I didn't want it.
I don't blame. Yeah, I don't blame you.
They got me on my back here, on my stomach.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, fam. So the next question is, what's the worst match you've ever been in?
Oh fuck! I can answer that right away. God damn it! So I actually have this match recorded, but after it got like 70 views on YouTube and so much heat from the boys to me, I was like, I'm taking it down. It was an intergender match at Atlantic Terror Championship Wrestling against Avery Rose. And going into the match, like I wasn't even supposed to wrestle that night. I went to watch the show. But it was originally supposed to be Raina Sky versus Avery Rose, but Raina couldn't make it. So Chucky Manson asked me to do it, and the venue was in a church, so they didn't want hair pulling, they didn't want strikes, they just wanted chaining and hip tossing, and everything we called was like just denied, like we couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, so we get to the ring, and I fucked everything up. It wasn't on Avery, it was on me. And I apologized afterwards, and we talked about it afterwards, like way afterwards. And she's like, "It's not the worst match I've had, but I want a rematch." So, and the only good part from me in that match was my entrance.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And so, all right, my last question for you is, what's the worst bump you've ever taken?
Oh. Well, the one on Legos didn't feel very good. I took one on Legos, taken on concrete, on the steps. Surprisingly, the one on the ring apron was like really good. That was from Andino lifting my ass up and slamming me down on the ring apron. But he was like, "It'll be soft, I promise," and it was. It was like, it felt like nothing, honestly.
Oh yeah, he was one of the safest workers ever.
Yeah. No, probably the Legos or the steps.
I'm gonna ask this question just as a follow-up, but was this Lego spot with a certain kingpin of Riot City?
Yeah.
No. It was the same cage match I mentioned earlier.
Okay, because I was like, this is a very sickened spot.
We had a spot where Diamond X Cross had a chain and he was punching me in the gut with it, and we had a chair set up in the other corner, and he whipped me into it, and I saw the Legos as I was going down, and I was like, for charity, boom. So it didn't feel too good, and it was funny as the tag team I was supposed to be managing in that match, one of the members, Doken, he lifted a chair up to hit somebody with, and when he swung it down, he cracked me in the side of the head because I was still laying there. Then I took a leg drop straight to the face while laying on the Legos.
Oh.
So like nothing felt good for like 5 minutes because I kept getting hit with shit while I was laying there. And it seemed like the leg drop just drove the Legos, like drove my back down farther into the Legos because I didn't turn my face in time, and I was just and Legos under my head and shit. But no, I've seen Nick's Lego bumps. Jesus Christ, and him bumping on the little car thing.
Yeah. No good. No bueno.
Hey, I'm gonna assume Legos are better than thumbtacks though.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. At this point, I know a lot of people would be like, hey, yeah, no, I'll do a Lego spot. I was like, I would much rather do thumbtacks right now than to ever be around Legos. Like, as a father and walking at night, I am terrified. I'm going to step on something.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I can step on anything and it won't bother me. But like, I guess that's what my mindset was when they pulled the Legos out. I was like, oh, this would be no big deal because like I don't know, I'm real strong in my feet. Like I can step on broken glass and probably wouldn't notice it, and it's happened. I got scars from it. So like, I thought this won't be shit, and then I hit him, and I was like, oh. Then the chair crack, and then I just hear, "Don't move, leg drop." What? Bam! So, yeah, that's probably the worst bump.
God, that just sucks all around.
It's better than the one I had planned for a show where I was supposed to get hit with a barbed wire bat and then fall on top of it.
Absolutely not.
No.
But that match never happened, so we're good.
So I'm going to ask, let's see, Chaz, do you want to ask the 10 count questions? Because I have a set too.
I mean, if you want me to do the 10 count questions, I can. I always have the 10 count questions ready.
I know you always have like the fun 10 count questions, so we'll give this up to you.
All righty then. All right. So it's time for the 10 count questions. So let me give you the rules. This is a rapid fire. It's only 10 questions.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Oh, this will be good.
You cannot fail this test.
Okay.
I asked Raw or SmackDown, and somebody said oranges.
What?
Exactly.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So, wait. So, do I have to give you the answer as quick as possible?
Yes.
You can try. Try your best.
Okay. Okay.
Try your best, because we have the imaginary timer here. Ding! You heard that? You heard that?
Yeah.
It wasn't Jesus. That was the imaginary timer.
The sleazes.
Oh, man. All right. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
And favorite cartoon?
It's The Simpsons.
It's a Friday night. What are you doing?
Bowling.
Hey. Favorite color?
Purple.
Funny thing is, my gear that I just ordered it. I've always done black and red, and I was trying to figure out a different color. I was like, let's go with fucking purple.
Yeah. Dude.
Batman or Superman?
You say Batman or Superman?
Yep.
Fuck. But Batman, I hate Superman, honestly.
Let's go. I hate him just as much.
He's the most generic guy ever, like. And plus, like, his weakness is a green rock. So, hashtag Superman's getting buried.
If it's the 3 Count podcast and I'm on it, Superman's always getting buried.
Yeah.
All right. So if you had somebody, if you could play somebody in a movie, who could you play?
Seymour Krelborn from Little Shop of Horrors.
I like that answer.
Or Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hell yeah.
What's the last show you binge watch?
Criminal Minds.
That's a good show. That's
Yeah.
a show.
Dude, and wait, I don't want to spoil anything because I mean I'm only on Netflix with it, but the Mark Hamill season, dude, I thought it was so great until the end.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? He just no spoilers.
Thanks. So, next question is Nike or Adidas?
Neither.
Okay. Favorite food?
Chili dogs.
What's the best match you've ever seen?
Rock versus Mankind at halftime heat.
What? Heard that. I'm so glad somebody said it.
It's like my favorite match ever, dude. Any match with Mick Foley in it, like around that time period, was gold. Like, especially the Hell in a Cell with Triple H, I thought was way better than the Undertaker one.
I agree on that one.
Yeah.
Last, but certainly not the least, and it's always my favorite one to ask, and it's always the last one. Cliff, you know what it is. What is your favorite cuss word?
Ass cheeks.
Count questions.
They used to call me Van Ass Cheeks back in high school because I said it so much.
That's funny. So you passed the count questions.
Yeah,
Man.
oranges.
Man, that's all the questions that we have, man. It's kind of like all the stuff we asked. We want to kind of wrap this up now. So please let our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
Wait, you're not going to ask me Rapid 10?
No. You get one set.
Oh, okay. All right. Where they can find me on Facebook at Killing Fate. I fucked it up already. Facebook.com/KillingFieldsThug. Instagram.com/KillingFieldsThug. TikTok.com/KillingFieldsThug. And also Facebook.com/The Yeah Boys, because I'm in a tag team with the SoundCloud sensation Anton Nathan and just Hanson. I'm just going by Hanson now for that. For the Yeah Boys. He says yeah, I say you know what I mean. We don't say anything else. Yeah. Know what I mean?
Well, bet, man. So we'll definitely let all of our listeners and viewers go find you, and we'll actually probably put it in the descriptions as well. So, for the Red Dog, for the Dawn, this is the 3 Count presents now entering the ring. Well, just Hanson is apparently. It's not Van Hanson.
Van Hanson, not just Hanson. There's a dude. Damn it. I don't want to bear anybody. It's Hanson. I already know someone who's doing a Just gimmick. Just Dalton. It's Hanson. Van Hanson. Or that's it currently.
So that's the man himself, Hanson. So, as always, guys, check out our next episodes that we have coming out because, we love doing these things for you guys, and we hope that you love watching them. So, tune into the next episode and be there or...
You know what I mean?
Be somewhere else.
Hello, 3 Count Podcast. If you enjoy what you're watching and you wouldn't mind going out your day to support us, go follow us on Twitter at 3count_pod, Instagram 3countpod, and if you want to look dripped out like your boy JJ, go to prowrestlingtees.com/the3countpod, and it's the number 3. Oh, and by the mention, we have a YouTube channel, so go check that out. The 3 Count Podcast with the number 3. JJ out.